make sure it's.
Because some people who did not attend, sometimes they ask for that, so I can just send them the recording. Right? Like let's say if you're not able to come in today, right?
I think it's just
الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم وبارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. Assalamu alaikum, my dear brothers and sisters. How are you today? Alhamdulillah. Are you ready for Ramadan?
yes.
Are you ready? Who's fasting this year? Who's gonna fast? All of you are gonna fast, inshallah? Yeah? Inshallah? Okay. Okay, are we ready? Yes. Alright, today inshallah ta'ala we're going to talk about the small atom. The small atom. Not atom, Adam with a D. Why is Nuh alayhi salam called the small atom? Why is he called the second atom or the small atom?
Because he's smaller.
He's smaller in size?
I thought you meant like the atom thing.
No. Forgive my accent. Forgive my accent. Sometimes I have a very heavy Middle Eastern accent. So it is not atom. I did not say atom. I said Adam.
Okay.
Why is he called the small Adam?
Because he's smaller.
Yes, sir.
That is because Nuh alayhi salam is our second father.
Because what?
Nuh alayhi salam is the second father of humanity.
Yes, because all of us here, Barakallahu feek, brother. Because all of us here are from Nuh alayhi salam. Every single human is from Nuh alayhi salam and the children of Nuh alayhi salam. Because after the flood, all of the non-believers died. And so the only ones who were left were the believers, and the only ones who could have children were the children of Nuh. So everyone here on this earth is from the children of Nuh alayhi salam. So that's why he's called the small Adam. Nuh alayhi salam had 4 sons. Okay? Ham, Barakallahu feek. Ham, Sam, Yafith, and Yam. Okay? You want me to write them down for you?
Yes.
I'm not going to write them down for you because if I do write them down in English, you're going to laugh really hard. So I don't want you. Should I write them down?
Yes.
In English? You promise not to laugh. If you laugh, you don't get a chocolate. So the first one, his name was Ham. See? I knew it. And the second one, Sam. And so, who laughed? I heard someone laugh. No chocolate for you. No, you couldn't help yourself. Anybody else here laughed? Who smiled and laughed? See?
Why doesn't the last one not rhyme with
See, I had a feeling. I gave this course in different masjids, and I was like, once I come here, the kids are not going to be able. But if it helps you remember it. Yafith. Yes, sir. Why are the names like that? That's how they call them last. So, the duration between Adam. Please stop talking. Please stop talking. Thank you. Remember our rule here. No talking. The duration between Adam alayhi salam and Nuh alayhi salam, according to Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam, 10 qurun. 10 what? 10 qurun. And a qarn can be looked at in 2 different ways. It could be a generation, or it could be like in classical Arabic, as we call the qarn, 100 years. So 10 qurun could be 1,000 years, or it could be 10 generations, so somewhere between 400 to 1,000. The people back then lived for a long time, so it could be even more than 1,000. But at minimum, we're looking at 400, 1,000 more. That's the duration between Adam alayhi salam and Noah. Okay? When Adam was here on this earth, everyone was a what? All of them were believers. All of them were what? And then, after 400 to 1,000 years,
Not everyone.
then they started worshiping idols. Uh-oh. How did the shaitan do this? Shh. Zakaria, that's my son, by the way. I can shout at him if I want to. Don't do that. How was the shaitan able to do that? How can he bring Muslims all the way to not worshiping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Yes? How?
After, if we have, as you see the time that as the time passes on after Adam, we don't know any prophets that might have come. So what we mostly know is that they forgot about it, and then Shaitan told them that the idols were.
Nice try, but they didn't forget. Yes?
Maybe because since like Allah made Shaitan, and Shaitan has like this power to like somehow like go into our like brain and sometimes like make us do bad deeds.
No. Shaitan is incapable of making you do a bad deed. Come here. Come here.
Yeah, man.
Come here. No? No?
Yeah, man.
This is Adam.
He puts
This is Adam. This was the forbidden tree. That Adam, Allah Azza wa Jalla told him, don't eat from the tree. Okay? Did the shaitan take Adam's hand and tell him and grab the fruit and then shove the fruit in his mouth? Put it in your mouth. Did the shaitan do that? No. He can't do that. He cannot force you to make something that's haram. What the shaitan will tell you is what? What the shaitan will tell you is what? That fruit looks so beautiful. Just look at it. See, look what the shaitan is doing. Just look. And then after looking, hey, just touch it. Oh, it feels nice. Smell it, just smell it. I'm not telling you to disobey Allah. I'm just telling you to smell it. Just smell it. Don't you want to take a bite? Don't you want to take a bite? Sit down. So this is what the shaitan will do. The shaitan can never, I'll get you, Habibi, I'll get you. The shaitan can never, ever force you to do something. He has no capability. He has no sultan. He has no power. The only thing that the shaitan can do is what?
Give you thoughts. Whisper.
Whisper. The only thing the shaitan can do is whisper. And so the shaitan tricked the believers. Yes. I love you. The shaitan, I love her. She's my favorite female student. Always asks for chocolate. The shaitan, what the shaitan will do to the Muslims is this. What he did with them is that they had 5 righteous people, 5 good people. And then those people died. So the shaitan told them, why don't you make an idol to remember them? Okay? Just make a carved image just to remember them. We're still worshiping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but just make a picture of them or something. Okay? And then the next generation started looking at the idols and putting candles around the idols, and then they started putting gifts to the idols, and then sooner or later, generation after generation after generation, what happened? Then they started worshiping the idols. Do you see what I mean? So that's what the shaitan will do. It will draw you in closer and closer and closer and closer until they finally worship the idols. So when that happened, Allah Azza wa Jal, He sends Nuh alayhi salam. Nuh alayhi salam as the very first Rasul as the very first what? Who is the very first messenger? Who's the very first Rasul?
Isa.
Please don't speak out of context. Raise your hand if you want to talk. The very first messenger is Nuh. So what does that make Adam alayhi salam? A prophet. So now we need to know what is the difference between a prophet and a messenger. This big circle is P for prophet. Everyone that Allah Azza wa Jal sends is a what? Prophet. In Arabic, prophet is what? Not Rasul. Prophet in Arabic is what? Nabi. Right? Nabi. From the prophets, Allah Azza wa Jal will choose certain people to be from the prophets. Allah Azza wa Jal will choose certain people to be what? Messengers. So all messengers, because they're the small circle, all messengers are what? But not all prophets are what? Messengers. Messengers, they come with a specific constitution, a specific message. Like Musa alayhi salam. Musa alayhi salam was a messenger. And all messengers are prophets. So Musa was a messenger, but so he came with a constitution. Some other prophets that came after Musa, they came to implement that constitution. Like who? Dawood and Sulaiman. So Dawood and Sulaiman are prophets because they didn't come with a constitution. They came to re-emphasize what? The constitution of Musa alayhi salam. So that's the difference between a messenger and a prophet. We have 5 messengers that are called Ulil Azm. They are called the messengers of perseverance and patience. Who are they? 1, Nuh. 2, Musa. 3, 2, Ibrahim. 4, Isa. And 5, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Everybody in loud voice say sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So now we have established the difference between what is a prophet and what is a messenger, and that Nuh is the number 1 messenger to come on this earth. Okay? Now, Prophet Nuh is a messenger, and he has a very difficult task. He has to tell the people stop worshipping idols. Worship Allah Azza wa Jal. So he uses 4 tactics. What are those 4 tactics? And that is a question for the parents, not for you. So please do not answer. For the parents, what do you do to tell your kids and make them do homework? What do you do? Give me a tactic that you use for the kids to do homework. Number 1.
Reward.
Huh? Reward. Number 1 is to say, do your homework and you will get a reward. What's another tactic, parents? And please be mindful that you could be recorded. So be careful when you say the next tactic. Number 2 is to do what? Not for you. Not for you. For the parents. Who said beat them? Who said beat them? Who? From the kids, right? Alright, tell me, between you and me. Yeah, Bubba beats you? Yeah, with the stick, right? Yeah. With the belt? Yeah? Does it have like little pins? I'm gonna call child service. Does it have like the little... That's okay, Sulaiman. That's what Egyptians and Moroccans do. Sit down. Put your hands down. Number 2 is to punish them. Number 3.
Ground down.
Yes, I know. Wallahi, I know.
Ban them from video games.
Yeah.
Number 3, parents. If their word isn't working and the punishment, or the ladies, come on, you haven't been engaging with me today. If their word isn't working and the punishment isn't working, what's another tactic? Do your home, yes.
Lock them.
Already punishment.
Yeah, man.
Okay, khalas, that's it. I don't want to hear from the kids. Tell me.
Yeah, man. Maybe like tell them why you should do it.
MashaAllah. Logic.
Oh.
Why you should do it. Study so you can become a?
A good person, a knowledgeable person.
Right. Yes?
So you can get a job.
So you can get a job and get out of my house. MashaAllah. And if none of those work, if the logic doesn't work, if the reward doesn't work, if the punishment doesn't work, then we as parents have only one last tactic to resort to, which is patience. We have sent Nuh to his people, and he told his people, my people, Inni lakum nadhirun mubin. I am a clear and obvious warner to you. Be careful from Allah Azza wa Jal and His punishment. The reward, and from the reward we're going to get a clue. Okay? What color should we put the clues in? In red. We're going to put the clues here, okay? He told them, worship Allah Azza wa Jal, and He will send rain to you. Gardens and rivers. Jannat wa anhara. Why would Nuh alayhi salam tell his people, worship Allah Azza wa Jal, and He will send rain and rivers? What does that mean? What does that mean? The people what? Yes? What does that mean? Yes? Huh? A lot of what? No, not just food. I cannot tell you, do your homework, I'll get you a PlayStation if you already have a PlayStation. I tell you what you don't what? What you don't have. So that's our clue. They didn't have what? And they didn't have what? Yes. يرسل السماء عليكم مدرارا ويمددكم بأموال وبنين ويجعل لكم جنات ويجعل لكم أنهارا. I can only entice you with something that you don't have. So they didn't have rain and they didn't have the rivers. Why is that important to know in the story of Nuh? Because when he was building the ship, what did they call him?
Fool.
A fool. Why did they call him a fool? Because he's building a ship with no what? They're like, why are you building a ship? Where are you going to sail this ship, Ya Nuh? Where is this ship going to go? They had no lakes, they had no sea, they had no ocean, they had no rivers. So that's a clue to the climate that they were living in. You understand? That's a very important clue. I can only entice you with a reward if you don't have it. And they didn't have these two, the rain and the rivers, which is important in the story of Nuh, because when it was time to build the ship, everybody mocked him. And everybody said, Majnoonun wasdujir, you are a crazy man, you're a fool. Okay? And then logic, he told him, ما لكم لا ترجون لله وقارا وقد خلقكم أطوارا. Why don't you worship Allah Azza wa Jal? He created you in stages, and He created the heavens and the earth for you, and He used the logical tactic. Okay? And then when all else failed, he told them what? He said, Ya Rabb, inni da'awtu qawmi laylan wa nahara. My Rabb, my Lord, I have been calling onto those people night and day, in public and in private. And every time I tell them to worship you, Ya Allah, they put their fingers in their ears, they don't want to hear anything. Nuh was exceptionally patient. How long did Nuh stay telling his people?
100 years.
900 years.
10,000 minus 6 years.
1,000 minus 50 years. How long did Nuh stay? Tell me, how patient was he? Almost what? Almost what? Almost 1,000 years. Which now brings us to this controversial statement in the Quran, in Surah Al-Ankabut. How long was Nuh? Now, a little bit of Arabic grammar. If you were able to catch on, that's great. If not, don't worry about it. If I go to the grocery store and I buy all of these right here, and all of these are fruits,
Yeah.
okay? Very good. Paying attention?
Yeah.
And those fruits are 100 in count. Okay? 100. I know. I'm not gonna draw 100 circles. And then I say illa, except. And then I bought one vegetable. Just one vegetable. I went to the grocery store and I bought 100 fruit, illa one vegetable. Okay? What's the total number of items in my bag? 101. Why didn't you subtract?
100.
Why didn't you subtract? You said 1,000 minus 50. Why didn't you subtract? Why didn't you say 99? Why did you add? Why did you add?
You said how many do you have in total?
Exactly. Because what? Because this was what?
You said except.
Fruits. And this is vegetable. Are they the same thing?
No.
Are they the same thing?
No.
They're different, right? They're different. Remember the rule that I told you in day one? When everybody said, repeat after me. There are no
Excuses.
synonyms. You don't remember that? I did that in another masjid? Oh, I did that in another masjid then. Okay. Repeat after me. There are no synonyms in the Quran. There are no. Okay, hold on. I'm not hearing them. There are no synonyms in the Quran. There are no what? So, what does that mean? There's no mutaradif in the Quran. What does that mean? It means if you have a word that says qamar and translated as moon, and you have another, please don't talk again, please. And if you have a word that says badr and that's translated as moon, then you lost something in the translation, because you cannot have two Arabic words translated the same in the Quran. Qamar is a general term for moon. Badr is the full moon. You understand? So you've missed something in the translation. There are no synonyms in the Quran. If two words in the Quran are translated exactly the same, you have missed something in the English translation. Are we clear? Say that again. There are no synonyms in the Quran. So for the word year, you have two words. You have one called sana, translated as year, and then you have one called am, translated as year. They're both translated as year, which means you're lost something in the translation. In the Quran, when Allah Azza wa Jal uses sana, it means a year of calamity, a year of problems, a year of destruction, a year of famine. Okay? If you want to talk, raise your hand. Yes? Oh, I'm sorry, I apologize. If the word am is used in the Quran, it means, pay attention. Look here, everybody look here. Everybody, look at me. If the word am is used, it means a year of prosperity, Okay? It means you have a lot of wealth, a lot of money, a lot of crops, a lot of happiness. Okay? So when the word sana is used, it's used for what?
Bad stuff.
Bad stuff. And when the word am is used, it's what?
Good stuff.
Good stuff. So when I say that Nuh alayhi salam stayed 1,000 years, 1,000 sana, illa 50 am, what do you understand from this? What do you understand from this?
He lived in 1,000 years of bad stuff.
1,000 years of what? Yes.
There are 1,000 bad years and 50 good years.
Excellent. The 1,000 bad years were when?
I think
What separates the good from the bad?
the 1,000 years were while he was trying to persuade them to follow him.
Keep going. And then the 50 after what?
50 after were on the boat.
After the flood.
After the flood,
Yeah, the boat rested. And then now we only have what with us?
the believers.
Exactly. Now we only have the believers. So he stayed alive with the believers for how long?
50 years.
And the Quran captures this in the most beautiful way of saying that Nuh alayhi salam stayed with his people for 1,000 harsh years, trying and trying and trying and trying. And then the flood happened, and then what happened? Then he stayed 50. So in total, he stayed with his people for how long?
1,050.
MashaAllah. MashaAllah. Can I get a volunteer to wipe the board? First one to read. Jazakallah khair. Are we good so far? Yes, sir. Any questions? Allah Azza wa Jal gave him that. Yes.
So, since we're like, after for the extra 50 years, he was with the believers, so who misguided the rest of the believers other than Shaitan?
What?
Who misguided one of the believers to misguide all of them other than the Shaitan?
What are you talking about?
Like, for example, if they're all believers, right?
You mean after the flood?
Yeah.
The shaitan did the same trick again and again and again. The images and the carved idols and all that stuff. Yes. Quickly, please, because we have only half an hour.
No.
Jazakallah khair, thank you.
Only of the believers who were in the boat and the disbelievers were out of the boat.
Correct? Yeah, we're gonna get there.
We're stuck in the flood, so
We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. But you're 100% correct. But we're getting to that part right now. Any other question from what I've discussed so far?
No.
Good? Okay. All right. So now, Allah Azza wa Jal reveals something to Noor. How much time do we have, brother Husam? So, okay. We have half an hour. Okay, good. Now Allah Azza wa Jal is going to reveal something to Noor that is catastrophic. Catastrophic. What does catastrophic mean?
Really bad.
Really bad. Really bad. What color do you want the believers to be in?
green.
And the non-believers are red.
Please don't talk out of turn. Sit down. I'm going to take that hat away from you. Sit down. Don't worry. He's my son. I can do that if I want to. Okay. So Allah Azza wa Jal reveals something catastrophic to Nuh alayhi salam. Are you ready for this? Allah Azza wa Jal is going to tell Nuh, let's say, we don't have specific numbers. Some people say that the people who believed in Nuh are around 80 or 100. Let's say they're 100. We're not really sure, okay? And we're not really sure what the number of the non-believers are, so let's give them any big number.
1,000.
More?
690 billion. 6 billion.
So the population is not that big.
Guys, don't make me regret that I asked you a question.
152,000.
Don't. It's like I'm regretting that I asked you a question. Okay. Okay, that's enough. Okay, and now I know what to ask and what not to ask. Okay. So here's the catastrophic news. Okay. Allah Azza wa Jal is going to tell Nuh that no one else is going to believe in you except those who believed. That's it. No one else. Why is that catastrophic for Nuh alayhi salam? Why is that really sad news? No. Raise your hand next time. Yes. More.
Because he wants like more people to.
Yes, but more. Why is that sad news for Nuh? Yes.
Because he can't save all his
No,
people.
more.
Because that was all.
More. Really sad. Really sad.
I don't.
Okay. Okay.
But if those kids
There you go.
One, you're getting close. Yes, is that what you're going to say? Yes. Because what? One of his kids,
die.
he didn't die yet. We're still not in the death
Because
yet.
his kids.
What does Nuh have? This is the non-believer side. Khalas, that's it. Thank you. Jazakumullah khairan. Nuh alayhi salam has family members on this side. Who does he have that we know that's on this side? Two. Which one?
His son and his wife. His
Wife is his son.
This is the side of the believers, this is the side of the non-believers. When Allah Azza wa Jal told him that no one else is going to believe except those who have already believed. And if you want the references, it's in Surah Hud, verse number 36. I'm sorry, I don't have time. Surah Hud, verse 36, Allah Azza wa Jal tells Nuh alayhi salam, وَأُوحِيَ إِلَى نُوحٍ أَنَّهُ لَنْ يُؤْمِنْ مِنْ قَوْمِكَ إِلَّا مَنْ قَدْ آمَنَ. And it has been revealed to Nuh that no one else from your people is going to believe. This is knowledge of what? Knowledge of the unseen, knowledge from the unseen. Because on the side of the non-believers, you have women who are pregnant and little kids. And so the fact that Allah Azza wa Jal tells Nuh, you see that little kid over there, when he grows up, he's going to be a non-believer. And that pregnant lady, whatever is in her belly, non-believer. So all of those people are non-believers, but what's even more sad is that Nuh alayhi salam had a wife and a son in that group. So that was really sad, and that's why in the same ayah, in Surah Hud, verse number 36, Allah Azza wa Jal tells Nuh what? لا تبتئس. Do not be depressed. Do not be sad with what they have been. Because he knows the emotions that are going to run through Nuh alayhi salam. He knows what's going to be in his heart once that has been revealed to him that no one else is going to believe. He knows he's going to get depressed. So Allah Azza wa Jal is trying to console him and tell him, لا تبتئس. Do not be depressed. And now the drum roll begins, and now we're going to begin. Okay. And now Nuh, now that he found out this, then Nuh does something unbelievable. He raises his hand. Remember that circle with prophets and inside was messengers? Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam in a hadith says, Allah Azza wa Jal has not sent any prophet except that he has given him a guaranteed what? Dua. Every single prophet has a guaranteed what? Dua. Some people asked for something in this life. Some people used their guaranteed dua in this life to ask for something. Like who? What's your name? Yes? Like Prophet Sulaiman alayhi salam. He asked for something in this life. And he said, Ya Rab, give me a kingdom like no one else. That was his guaranteed dua. And some prophets used their guaranteed dua against their own people when they didn't believe in them. Okay? Ad wa Thamud wa Nuh. Our Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam, what did he use his guaranteed dua for? What did he use it for? Yes. Say it out loud.
To forgive the people who did not believe in him.
No. Yes.
For the life of the son to be saved.
No. What did Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam use his dua for? Yes. MashaAllah. He hasn't used his dua yet. When the companions told the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, Ya Rasulullah, why didn't you ask for a kingdom like that of Sulaiman? So the Prophet ﷺ smiled and he said, I have saved my dua for the day of judgment. So I'm going to use my guaranteed dua for you and for you and for you and for me and for us, for all of us. What is he going to ask for on the day of judgment? What is he going to ask for? For Allah to do what to us? Ash-shafa'at, intercession. For Allah to forgive us. So he hasn't used his guaranteed dua. The most unselfish man to walk the earth, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Say sallallahu alayhi wasallam. So Nuh alayhi salam now is ready to use his guaranteed dua, and Nuh alayhi salam takes it a little extreme. Now that he knows that no one is going to believe except those who believe, what does Nuh say? Rabb, ya my Rabb, my Lord. What did he say? لا تذر على الأرض من الكافرين ديارا. Ya Rabb, do not leave a single person on the face of this earth who's a kafir, who's a non-believer. Wipe them all out. Wipe them what?
All out.
He wants to give the earth a fresh start. Okay? And so now the drum roll really begins because Allah, thank you. Jazakumullahu khair. Jazakumullah. Thank you. And now in verse 37 in Surah Hud, Allah Azza wa Jal tells Nuh to do what? It's time to do what? Build the ship. MashaAllah, it's time to do what? But Nuh was not a builder. So Allah Azza wa Jal tells him what? Build the ship. وَاصْنَعِ الْفُلْكَ بِأَعْيُنِنَا وَوَحْيِنَا. Under our observation and with our revelation. We will guide you, Ya Nuh. We will guide you into how to build the ship. What did he use for the ship? We don't have time. What did he use for the ship? What? Two things he used to construct the ship. What? Wood and nails. وَحَمَلْنَاهُ عَلَى ذَاتِ what? أَلْوَاحٍ وَدُسُرٍ. Wood and nails. Okay? He makes the ship under the observation and under the guidance of Allah Azza wa Jal. And then Allah Azza wa Jal knows that Nuh's heart is aching for who? Yes, maybe the wife, but definitely for?
The son.
Okay, of course for the wife, so nobody gets upset. So, Nuh alayhi salam, his heart is aching for his family. So Allah Azza wa Jal tells him in Surah Hud, وَلَا تُخَاطِبْنِي. Do not address me about those who didn't believe. Because guess what? Nuh, he knows that after these drown, he's not going to let it go. He knows he's not going to let it go. But he tells him, do not address me about those who drown. Okay? Because they are going to drown. إِنَّهُمْ مُغْرَقُونَ. Okay? Now, Nuh alayhi salam is constructing the ship. And now it's very important for us to know something which is very subtle in the Quran, but beautiful to know. This is a mountain, and this is sea level or base level, okay? Was the ship constructed at sea level, or was it constructed on a higher ground? Why do you say that?
Because there's no sea nearby.
When I say sea level, it means this level that we are in right now. It's called ground level. Sea level is when somebody says sea level, it means the ground level. Not like on a cliff or a mountain or something. That's what I meant. They had no seas, they had no rivers, they had no oceans. But why was Nuh's ship constructed on higher ground? There were no seas, no lakes, no rivers, nothing. But why was it on higher ground? Why? Yes?
So he had more time to build the ship before the water came.
Good idea. Yes? Okay, it's, yes? I can't hear you. There's no water here. It didn't matter. It didn't matter, but where do we get the clue from? I'm going to tell you, for the sake of time, okay? Because, do you remember when I did this? And I said, these are called the boundaries.
Yes.
Remember what I said?
Yes.
And if I put the water all the way to the brim, did I transgress? I did not. What is transgression when what happens? When I start putting water and what happens?
It starts to get up.
It starts to get out. And the Arabic word for that is what? Say it out loud. Say it out loud. Tagha. MashaAllah. Were you here before? Were you here before, right? Yes, you were. Tagha is the word for transgression. When Allah creates a boundary for you and you don't like those boundaries, when Allah creates rules and He says don't eat pork, that's a boundary. When you eat pork, you are what? You've transgressed. You've crossed the boundary of Allah Azza wa Jal. So you did an act of tagha, right? In the Quran, in Surah Al-Haqqa, the word tagha, the only place in the Quran where this word is written with like that, with an alif, like that, tagha, is in Surah Al-Haqqa. Okay? Inna lamma tagha al-ma', when the water transgressed, when the water rose above sea level, حَمَلْنَاكُمْ فِي الْجَارِيَةِ. When the water rose and rose and rose above the normal levels, that's when the ship was carried. That's how we know the ship was really built on higher ground, from just a change of this letter to that letter. Amazing, right? Amazing. If you don't see the amazing, it's okay. Maybe someone else does. Anyway, the ship is constructed. The ship is constructed. What was the sign? What was the sign that it's time to load people on the ship? What was the sign? Yes. The water. I need more than just the water. Yes. Say it out loud.
The water came out of the snow.
Yes.
It started to rain.
It started to rain, but I need more than that. You're correct, by the way. I just want to hear it from someone else. Yes?
It started to rain really hard and started to flood the ground.
The water came. Yes? I thought you wanted to say it. Yes?
Where that fireplace was, it started to get water next to it, and it started flooding one house to a million houses, like a lot.
Right.
And then that's the sign.
Very good. MashaAllah, we've got one person here who said the sign, which is when the water came out of the oven. حتى إذا جاء أمرنا, when the time came, when the command came, وفار التنور. What's a tanur? You know how those old ovens, have you ever been in the country and they have those brick old ovens where they put the little wood and then they put the bread inside and stuff like that? It's like a small little brick oven, okay? When the water came from that oven, حتى إذا جاء أمرنا وفار التنور. We take a break, yes. Say the adhan after Brother Musab.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
What was the sign? What was the sign that it's time to load people in the ship? Yes, the water came out of the oven. And then the sky opened up as if it was like doors. وَفَتَحْنَا أَبْوَابَ السَّمَاءِ بِمَاءٍ مُنْهَمِرٍ. And the sky was opened, it was like doors, and the rain started pouring down. You need to go to the bathroom? Go. And the earth, وَفَجَّرْنَا الْأَرْضَ عُيُونًا. And the earth exploded with springs. So water is exploding from the earth, and water is pouring down from the sky. And now Allah Azza wa Jal tells Nuh to do three things. Three things. He needs to load up three things. Number one, from every animal he needs to load up
In pairs.
in pairs. And he leads. And then, number two, your family. Those who believed. And number three, the believers. How was Nuh able to get pairs of every animal? Please get it out of your head that Nuh was dragging the lion to come onto the ship and checking to see if this is a male or a female tiger. Please put your hand down. We don't have time for questions now because we only have 10 minutes. Nuh did not do that. Nuh did not drag the animals one by one to put it in the ship. Allah Azza wa Jal helped him. Okay? Please do not think about whether he put frogs or not, sharks or not. We don't know. And it's okay not to know. Oh, Brother Ahmed, sharks can live in the water. Why would he load up the shark? How did he load up the sharks on the ship? He didn't have water on the ship. Maybe the sharks will die. What if the sharks eat the other animals? How did the lions didn't eat the zebras? It's okay. We don't have to know all of that stuff. Because Allah Azza wa Jal and His Messenger Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam didn't tell us that stuff. So it's okay not to know. But what I do want you to know, that Allah Azza wa Jal helped him by the animals were coming to Nuh alayhi salam on their own in pairs, and he loaded them up on the ship. Did he get every species of the spider? There are 10,000 species of spiders. We don't know. And it's okay not to know. Okay? But what we do know is what Allah Azza wa Jal told us, which is that He loaded on this ship pairs of animals. Okay? Now, the second thing that he was supposed to put on the ship was his family. There are two members of his family that were not on the ship. The son and the wife. And the third, whoever believed in him. Now the water is rising. The water is rising. It's coming from the ground. And the water is pouring from the rain. And the non-believers are in red. The water is rising. Here's the water. It's rising. And the non-believers, what are they doing when the water keeps on rising? What are they doing? They're climbing to what? To higher ground? Right? Can you envision this? Can you envision this? There are some that have already drowned at the bottom of this right here. And there are some that are going to what?
Climb the mountain.
Climb for higher ground. And the water keeps on rising. And the water keeps on rising. Now Allah Azza wa Jal tells us that the ship started to sail in waves as high as mountains. وَهِيَ تَجْرِي بِهِمْ فِي مَوْجٍ كَالْجِبَالِ. The ship started to sail in waves that are high as mountains. And as the ship is sailing, here's the ship in green, as the ship is going from one mountain to the next, here's the ship in X, okay? This is the ship sailing in waves as mountains. It comes to a mountain where Nuh sees who? His son. Nuh sees, who does he see?
The wife and the son.
No, he doesn't see the wife, but he sees what?
Son.
The son. He just sees the sun, because this is what the Quran tells us. Here's the ship. The ship has already sailed. The Quran tells us the ship is already sailing in waves as mountains. And Nuh alayhi salam, he sees what?
His son.
He sees his son. And what does he tell his son? He tells him, what? My son, ride with us. Yes, he could. Yes, he could. Because of what the Quran tells us. Because the son responds back to the father and says, no, I am not going to ride with you. I'm going to go what? On higher ground. That's what the son tells him in the Quran in Surah Hud. The son tells him, سَآوِي إِلَى جَبَلٍ يَعْصِمُنِي مِنَ الْمَاءِ. I'm going to keep going up this mountain until I'm safe. So Nuh responds back to the son and tells him what? He tells him, you're not safe. There is no safety except which Allah Azza wa Jal has given mercy to. And then at that point, a big wave came between them and he drowned. Now comes the important question. Why wasn't the son among those who drowned in the beginning? Why all this drama? Why all this drama? Why Allah Azza wa Jal made Nuh see his son go through all of this? The son could have drowned in the beginning with the wife and that's it. But the son kept on climbing to higher ground. And then this dialogue is captured in the Quran. Why? Now you can raise your hand if you want to answer. Yes?
So like, to tell Muhammad that his son will believe.
What?
That his son will believe.
To tell Nuh alayhi salam that his son will not believe? Will not believe. What else? Why do you think Allah Azza wa Jal allowed for this dramatic scene to happen? We have only 4 more minutes. Yes?
To show that some people will still not believe even when they see the truth.
So to show that some people will not believe even though they saw the truth. And what was the truth that they saw, brother?
That the water kept on rising.
That the water kept on rising. What else? Somebody raised his hand. Yes?
I think because if Allah misguides you, no one can guide you.
If Allah misguides you, no one will guide you. He was not guided. Any other thoughts? Yes? Wallahi, I can't hear you. Forgive me. I'm old. It's not you. It's me. I can't hear you.
I was saying to prepare the believers, let them know that some of your family are not going to believe.
To prepare the believers for the future, that perhaps some of your family members may not be among you. Okay? Everything that you have said is 100% correct. My favorite, though, of everything that you have said, my personal favorite, is what the brother said over there. If the son had drowned in the beginning, because Nuh, after the ship rested, Nuh pleaded the case again. to Allah. Even though he told him, don't address me, Nuh went back and addressed Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and told him, Ya Allah, my son, you told me to load up my family, and he's family. So Allah Azza wa Jal tells him, he's not family. He is not your family. So Allah Azza wa Jal knew that Nuh was going to come back to this issue, even though he told him, La tukhatibni. But if the son had drowned from the beginning, Nuh wouldn't have seen with his own eyes مدى كفر قتل الإنسان ما أكفره, how disbelieving this son is. What more do you want? The earth is exploding with water and the sky is pouring down rain. What more truth do you want? What more? And then add to it the beautiful things that you've said. If Allah doesn't guide you, you cannot be guided. And add to it what the brother over there said to prepare us, because perhaps some of us may be unfortunate to experience a similar event where a family member is not a believer, where Allah redefines what is family. So what is family then? Who is family? Who's your family? Who's your family? Who's your family? No, who's your family? No, say me. I'm your family. Who's your family? He's your family. I'm your brother. He's your brother. She's your sister. That's family. Your brother in Palestine, your mother in Palestine, in Gaza, that they have no food, that's your family. That's what you make dua for. People who are suffering, even though they're Muslims, but they're in Syria, in Lebanon, in wherever they are, and they are suffering, that's your family. No more questions, sorry. We're not out of time, we have to pray. That's your family. So Allah Azza wa Jal redefines what is family. Family is a family bonded by La ilaha illallah and Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. That's family. And that's the story of Nuh. And we have 2 more minutes. And then after that, Nuh alayhi salam lived 50 years of prosperity with the people, all believers, alhamdulillah. He did ask Allah Azza wa Jal for his son because he's a father, and that's what fathers do. They try until the very last minute. No matter how bad you are, we're going to keep on trying with you. I'm not saying you're bad, you're wonderful, mashallah. But that's what fathers do. You try and try and try and try. And then when Allah Azza wa Jal told him he's not family, and be careful what you ask for, Nuh immediately makes a beautiful statement, the exact same statement made by Adam alayhi salam. Ya Allah, forgive me. If you don't forgive me, I will be among the losers, which is the exact same thing that Adam said when he made the mistake. Okay, we have 2 announcements. This is an iftar for the kids on the 25th night of Ramadan. Oh, this is the iftar? Okay. So the iftar is on the 23rd day of Ramadan? No. Okay. Okay. So we have an iftar for kids. رمضان يعني 23 رمضان هيفتكرهم احنا هنوزعهم بس بنفكرهم دلوقتي. Okay. So this is an iftar which is going to happen 23 days from today, and it's after Asr, and you will get the flyers for that. Okay.
وده تكريم لطلبة دار القرآن فقط.
And this is to honor those who are in Dar al-Quran only on the 25th night of Ramadan, and you'll get a flyer for that. And this is the last Friday night, halaqah, inshallah, and we'll resume after Ramadan is over, inshallah. Okay? Okay, سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك جزاكم الله خيرا السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Amen.